Connecting. It says it's connecting. Stream key. What is the problem with the stream key? Ugh. Did that work? Oh, pipeline. Are we live? All right, we are live. All right, y'all. Sorry for any delay that this may have caused. Sometimes you have problems with I was having a problem with the stream key, and sometimes you have these problems with the stream key. So what I want to do is, just got an email from Grant Cardone. I actually got a couple of them, but I got one email from Grant Cardone. One was from Grant Cardone University. That was from it was another one. Anyway, both of them had one of them had two books in it, and one of them was just one book, but one was the same book. And I want to bring that one up. It was called Grant Cardone. I'm going to pull it up here. So just it was basically, I'm going to do a review of this How to Fill Pipeline Cold Prospecting, Grant Cardone University. So let's go ahead and pull that up. So what I had was I had it right here, downloaded it, right? I got it in this email, and it's real short. It's How to Fill Pipeline, Cold Prospecting. Thank you, Grant Cardone. He is an awesome guy, mentor. I mean, he is everything that you think you should be. I think, you know, he's one of those guys that speaks from the heart. You know, he came from basically nothing, and now that he reached mega success, he still helps the little guys too. He still helps the little guy. You know, he still gives back to communities and charities, and that is just, it's just phenomenal. Because sometimes a lot of people, when they reach a certain level of success, they don't help the little guy no more. They're like, I'm above that. You know, I ran across a few even recently. So we're gonna get past that, and we're talking about how to fill a pipeline, cold prospecting, Grant Cardone. All right, so we're just gonna go through this and talk about some of these key points that Grant has laid out for us to follow. And you know, they say if you follow the path's already been made. Follow the path. You ain't gotta make a new road if there's already, you know, a 4-lane highway. You don't have to beat a new path through the Rocky Mountains if there's already a 4-lane highway. Just take the 4-lane highway. Grant Cardone is on point here. All right. So let's talk about it. He said, well, why would you do cold prospecting? You know, especially if you got all this fear and you're scared and you don't think anything is gonna work, or you think it's a waste of time. Well, it's cost effective. You know, it's preemptive. You know, fewer and fewer use cold calls, targeted prospects. It empowers you. You know, it establishes new relationships. You know, always be out there prospecting means you're always putting your stuff out there. If you didn't, then you might end up like some of these other companies. You might end up like Circuit City. You know, they were a mega force out there for a long time. You know, in the electronics department. Now they're not. You know, Blockbuster Video. You know, I can go on and on and on. All right, you gotta keep out there. You gotta keep your stuff out there, and you gotta evolve with it. All right, so you know, you know, cold prospecting basics. All right, frequency, you know, and perfection. You know, yeah. Hey, what can I say? Keep it up, you know, and keep working on making it better. Keep it up, make it better. Keep it up, make it better. You know, but if you don't do it at all, you know, like I tell my kids, you know, you know, when they say I can't do nothing, Daddy, I can't do this, Daddy. You know what I tell them? You know, I said, oh, well, how is not doing it going to make you better? Is not doing it going to make you better at it? Of course not. You got to do it to get better at it. You know, that's how it is with everything in life. You know, all right. Preparation is vital. You know, of course, yeah. Prepare. You know, better prepared means you have a better thing. Now that doesn't mean that you prepare so much that you don't actually do it. You have to have the action. You know, you don't have the what they call it. What is it called? Procrastination by, you know, I forget what it's called. But anyway, you know, where you get so fixated on making it so perfect that you never actually do it because you're so fixated on making it so perfect. Engineers are great with that. They want to keep making it so perfect, but then they don't, you know, they need the marketeer to push it out there, you know, even if it's perfect or not. So proper expectations of what is required, you know. So that's great, you know. A lot of times people have scripts, you know. You have a good script, you know. You know what is required. What exactly are you looking for when you're trying to make the connections with people? You know, I myself have problems with this area. Sometimes I'm just like, well, I just want to make connections with people, and then I'm not even sure why I'm making connections with people. And then later maybe I'll figure out something. But maybe in the beginning, if I had a reason, if I had some things lined up, some things prepared, then of course it's better. Especially if you can figure out a win-win scenario. If you can figure out what benefits the other person first, second, and third, then fourth or fifth, then worry about you. Then you're going to be outstanding because then they're going to see the value first, and it's just going to come back around tenfold. I promise. So always do cold call prospecting. So you know, just make sure you're honest. Man, you don't want to be one of these sleazy people, you know, doing things dishonest just to try to get it. Because believe it or not, people, maybe not at first all the time, you know, the shell game, but people see dishonesty. It only lasts so far. You know, Lehman Brothers only fool people for so long. You know, Bernie Madoff only robbed so many rich people before he got busted. You know, I mean, there's only so long that dishonesty can last. It can't last forever. You know, that's not a long-term game. That's a very short-term game, and it's not. I mean, it eat up with your morals, man. It turn you into garbage on the inside. So I don't recommend it. You know, so I'm down with that. Keep everything honest, transparent, straightforward. You know, I'm not saying you can't make a profit. You know, you can't show a value, but when you're honest about what you're talking about and your deals, you know, it all works out better for both parties when things are honest and upfront and transparent of how things are going to work out. It makes paperwork smoother. It makes deals smoother. I mean, I can't go over this enough, and I'm sure Grant Cardone would agree with me on this. You identify and solve problems. Again, you know, that's the best way to do it. You find a need, you fill a need. You know, over and over again. You be respectful, be memorable. You know, but you know, not in a crazy way. I mean, you don't want to, you know, do anything maybe disrespectful, memorable necessarily. But you know, be you know, hey, you know, so oh yeah, I remember that guy. So you know, so be credible. You know, use third party info to validate claims. This is great stuff. I see Grant Cardone do this all the time, right? So when he's prospecting on a phone call, right? I saw a video. This is just what comes to mind since I'm using Grant. I'm going to use this example. So he was prospecting on a phone call, right? And right after he closed the sale, right? This was phenomenal. He said, "Hey, can you name two, three other people that you'd recommend this product to?" Like before they even got the product or service. He sold it to them. They haven't even got it yet, though. He's like, "Who else would you recommend?" And they'd be like, "I don't know." He said, "Man, just what's the first name pops off your head?" So he's already adding to that database, right? And that's awesome, right? You know, and even if it's just another company. Oh, I work with the people over at Versace's or whatever, right? So, oh yeah, Versace's. Oh yeah, who over there have you talked to? Oh, Bob. What was his name? I don't remember his name. Who else who worked over there? Oh, well, I do remember Karen Smith. Okay, so you work with Bob and Karen Smith over there. Okay, all right. Thanks, Joe. Right? And then he'd call Versace's and say, hey, is Bob or Karen Smith there? Right? Joe over at, in the place he just closed, they sent me over here. Man, already added a layer of credibility right there, right at the beginning, because they're already familiar with Joe. Versace's already familiar with Joe, right? Even if they don't know who you are, they're familiar with him. And then that already built in a layer of credibility right in the beginning of the sale and the prospecting. It helps build that layer of trust. And then after you talk to them, they're in their brains, they're connecting you with the trust and credibility of Joe, and trust and credibility of now, in his case, Grant Cardone, and so forth, and just like you see me doing it, I'm building the trust that you say, oh, you trust in Grant Cardone, and since I'm reading his stuff down the line, and you see me reading it, you're connecting the trust with me with Grant Cardone, at least that's my hope, but I hope that's true, because I plan on working a lot great stuff with Grant Cardone in the future. So, but that being said, we're just going through his cold prospecting ebook that he's giving out for free all over the place. And thank you very much. This is good information. Most of the stuff he's covered 1,000 times in many of his seminars, videos, etc. But it's real chunked it up key points. Let's keep on moving. Golden rule of prospecting: never rely on one form of communication. I agree, man. I mean, look at this. Even right here on this form, you see Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, a website. I mean, he's always putting his phone number everywhere, his address. I mean, you push out your message to as many people as possible, and as much as you can. You get it out there, and you hope that it comes back to you in fold. And usually it does. Sometimes you have to pound. Maybe it's not going to be like you want. Maybe you can't pound 1,000 doors in a week and think it's going to happen. But if you pound 1,000 doors in a week in 5 months, maybe you didn't get it for 4 months, but that 5th month, then all of a sudden you got 10,000 people calling you, and it does work like that. Ask any professional. They pound at it, maybe with nothing or very slow nothing, but then all of a sudden it's like the heavens gates open up, and then their business becomes so much they can't even handle. It's like one of those internet commercials where they just, oh yeah, we got 100 sales, and then they get 100 million sales, and they can't handle it. It's just like that sometimes. You struggle, and then you get to a point where you just can't handle it. All right, but that doesn't mean that you lay low. You keep prospecting. You keep your name out there. That's why Coca-Cola is always popular, because they keep it out there. Pepsi's, they keep it out there. That's why they dominate those markets. Okay, so cold prospecting process. You introduce yourself. Reason for why you got the big claim. Qualify the facts. Fact find and close. I'm going to add one thing that's not in here, but something that another guy I talked with, Cam Fats, talks about storytelling, and he says the customer, a lot of times, they need to understand why they need your product and service. Like a little source says, you need to bring them to point A to B to C to D to E to F to G. And then when it comes down to, you make cold calls, cold emails, LinkedIn, text message, personal visit, handwritten letters, whatever it takes to get your message out there. And then we're just going to finish this off with some takeaways. Don't get don't get paralyzed in thought. Just get started, get in the frequency. Be persistent is key. Follow a process every time, and then use whatever means that are available. So just get out there and just hit the ground, hit the phone, hit the internet, do whatever it takes to get your message out there. I want to thank you all for your time. Thank you, Grant Cardone, and I'm just going to end this stream right now. All right. Yeah, I got this ebook from Grant Cardone, so I thought I'd talk about it and make a video real quick.
How are you still up? It's 2 o'clock.
we didn't wake up till late.
Oh my God.
No, actually, I was talking about Grant Cardone.
Get out of here, dude.